Hi everyone, welcome back to another Will I Buy It? Usually I try to make these more or less an anti-haul. I basically kind of try to talk myself out of wanting most new makeup releases, but this week may be a bit of a twist. I am actually feeling myself drawn in by kind of a lot of what's on the market lately. Before filming, I went through and saved a bunch of Instagram posts that I specifically wanted to touch on. So I am gonna skip like a lot of new releases. Like there's a ton more that has come out that I'm not even gonna scratch the surface on what I could have talked about today, but I really wanted to hone in on these things that I felt like I had genuinely a feeling about, like an actual gut reaction to when I saw them. As always, I will link the Instagram accounts that I use for new makeup releases down in my description box, and I will also link Samantha March's Will I Buy It community playlist. She kind of started this style of video here on YouTube, or at least as far as I know she did, and so I want to give credit where credit is due to Samantha March. Now, the first thing on my list here is a holiday release. Honestly, a lot of these are holiday releases. This one is the new Discovery eyeshadow palette from Rare Beauty. It has 7 colorful, buttery soft shades. It's already available as of October 20th on the Rare Beauty website and on Sephora. It says holiday 2021 on this. It doesn't say anything about whether or not it's limited edition. And the only reason I say that is because a lot of makeup releases around the holidays are kind of like just a holiday release, and then when they're out of stock, they're out of stock. This doesn't say that. I'm not sure what the situation is with this one. What actually drew me in on this one though was kind of the right-hand side of the palette. The left-hand side are shades that I have 1,000 times over. Actually, the whole thing is honestly shades that I have 1,000 times over. But the right-hand side, for some reason, the quad that makes, like using the center shade and then the 3 to the right, that like very purpley toned holiday look that you would get really inspired me. I will not be picking up this eyeshadow palette because I think, like I said, I have these tones somewhere else, but I wanted to point this out because it kind of got my creative juices flowing, and that's just not something that I totally expect from Rare Beauty. For some reason, I picture this brand being more like everyday standard staples. And so when I see something from a brand like that that really like sparks my imagination, I get really excited. So credit to Rare Beauty for making me want to reach into some deep toasty purples this holiday season, but I will not be picking up this palette. Okay, here's one that I had a gut reaction to, but a negative gut reaction. This is the new Glossier Balm.com in their new flavor, cookie butter. So this is also like a holiday related thing, right? Cookie butter is very much like a holiday flavor. It's available now, it's $12. I don't think I get the hype about Balm.com. I've used it. I've used the original one, and then I've used sort of a fruity-ish one. I can't really remember. But that's my point, is like it was not memorable. Either time that I used it, it was not memorable. And this cookie butter one looks like it probably has like a little more pigment than some of the others. It looks like relatively opaque. I'm not sure if that's actually the case, but the thought of cookie butter lip balm really grosses me out for some reason. It makes me think of like the gross, what are they called? Oh my gosh, someone's gonna have to put it in the comments because I can't think of what it's called. The lip balm that in my generation, I'm 27, when we were young, they had like those flavored, colorful packs of lip balms. They were like in chapstick format. Some of them had like glitter in it, and they came in 1,000 flavors, and they always came in like a big pack. Oh my gosh, I can't think of what it's called. Anyway, there were multiple like dessert flavors in those packs, and they are so gross. They're so gross, you guys. Why would you want a cookie butter lip balm? Tell me, if you want this, tell me down below, because maybe I'm the only like oddball out here and everybody's pumped about this. I don't know. Also, seriously, if you know what those chapstick things are called, put them in the comments. It's gonna drive me nuts. Okay, next up, another holiday collection. This is from Lorac Cosmetics. Lorac, I feel like, gets a little bit of a bad rap on like YouTube land. They do release like a lot of just neutral palettes like over and over and over that more or less look identical to each other in my mind. But this collection caught my eye because these palettes actually look a little bit different to me. They look interesting, and I'm actually pretty intrigued. So we have the Pro palette in Fairy Tale Forest. It's $35. You get 18 shades, and honestly, it looks really beautiful to me. It looks super, super gorgeous. Like I said, it is heavily neutrals. It looks like there are some like rosy tones in there and maybe like a couple blues and greens, but it does look, you know, primarily neutral. What's catching my eye is like if you look at some of those shimmer shades, so like the bottom two rows, they look so like glittery and foiled. I'm not sure if they actually are that way or if they got some really good creative photography and editing going on here, but that palette just looks unbelievable to me. I've never really felt super drawn in by Lorac, but this palette is really interesting, and you get 18 shades for $35. I feel like that's a really, really good price for a brand that has an amazing reputation for making good quality cosmetics, even though sometimes they're a little bit boring, because Lorac really started as like a pro makeup artist brand. So anyway, enough about that big palette, Pro Palette Fairy Tale Forest. There are 3 little ones. There's Frosted Sequoia, Mystic Oak, and Winter Rose. They're all $15 each. It says they're available now at Ulta Beauty and Lorac Cosmetics on their website. So I don't know. What do you think about this? Would you be interested in seeing a review of that big palette? It says it's a holiday collection. Again, it doesn't say if it's limited edition, so I'm not sure, but I really might pick up that big palette. Okay, this is like a really, really early sneak peek of a 2022 release, and then it says hashtag coming soon on this post. That's not that soon. Anyways, it's 3 Charlotte Tilbury Matte Revolution lipsticks. So 3 new shades of their existing formula. They look really beautiful. Honestly, that dark, the one all the way to the right, that's kind of like a dark burgundy shade, that is really calling my name. The other ones just kind of look like a nude and a red. They don't look that exciting. But a matte lipstick in kind of that darker burgundy is one of my favorite ways to have a dark shade, if that makes sense. I'd like something in more of a matte formula. So I don't know, I'm kind of intrigued by that. I'm gonna keep my eye out for when it actually releases sometime in 2022. Okay, this is an interesting one because I had a gut reaction because I had kind of a negative reaction at first, and then now some swatches have come out and I have switched over kind of to a positive reaction, and I'm not sure how to feel about it. So this is the new Rose Quartz collection from Huda Beauty. It has a Rose Quartz eyeshadow palette for $67. It comes with 18 shades. There is a Silk Balm Rose Quartz Illuminating Lip Balm for $21, a Rose Quartz Face Gloss Highlighting Dew for $39, a Rose Quartz brush set for $35. It's a 3-piece brush set. And then a Wishful, that they're kind of like sister brand is Wishful, a Wishful Rose Quartz Lift and Glow Peel Off Face Mask for $39. So I had a weird reaction, mostly because of the like highlighter shade. So they're calling it a face gloss highlighting dew. It's $39 and it has the texture of that one eyeshadow that like everybody hated in her the Naughty palette that she released. It's like those weird, like, it's almost like, looks like balls of goo inside of like a clear gel. I don't know how else to explain it, but the swatches of it look beautiful. I don't really know if it'll actually look like that on people's face, but it looks really nice. And then when I look at the palette also has a shade like that again, although it looks more like crushed metallics than it looks like those little balls that the other shadow looked like. But the swatches of this palette look incredibly beautiful. So you know what? I can't fault her. I can't fault her for putting weird textures in her palette if they are actually going to look beautiful and perform well. So I'm actually pretty intrigued by this. I will not pick it up. I think these are outrageously expensive. I mean, $39 for that highlighting dew. I think that's insane. And speaking of incredible swatches, this palette is really outstanding. This is the new Lightwork Volume 3 Infinite Light Palette by Danessa Myricks. And I mean, man, it looks so beautiful. It is a limited edition palette. It's selling for $125. It's 14 shades, and this is the breakdown. Let me just read it to you. There's 1 pressed glitter, 2 duochrome gels, 2 powder creams, 5 multichrome pigments, 4 holographic powders. I just am so intrigued by this. And they have a tip saying, layer the powders over the creams to create various intensities and coverage. I can't explain to you how much I love this palette. It is not for me. It is not for someone like me. I generally, if I want these like crazy sparkly shimmery shades, I'd rather buy them as singles and get like the one exact color that I want. I would not get enough good use out of a palette like this to justify a $125 purchase, but it is just honestly wild. Danessa Myricks, her artistry blows me away every time. I mean, oh, some of these pictures of these shades on the models are just outstanding. Okay, only a few more things here that really caught my eye. This one is a collab between Ulta and Pixar. There are 3 different collections. There's a Toy Story collection with an eyeshadow palette, a candle, a lip set, and a little bag. There's a Finding Nemo collection with an eyeshadow palette, a lip set, a brush set, body lotion, and body wash. Interesting. Sure. And then there's a Monsters Inc. collection with an eyeshadow palette, a lip set, a makeup sponge set, and blush. It says it'll be available October 24th. Oh, great. Online at Ulta Beauty. So that's yesterday. So it's available now if you're interested. This mostly caught my eye for like one very specific reason. And it's the Monsters Inc. little sponge set. I just literally only want to talk about this because I want to point out how stinking cute this little thing is. They made like the 3 little sponges match the 3 characters. And that's it. That's all I have to say about it. I don't like the rest of the collection. I won't be picking this up. I just wanted to draw your attention to the adorable sponges. That's it, the end. Okay, another holiday collection. This is from Juvia's Place. It's called the I Live, I Love collection. It actually, I remember it, I just got an email from Juvia's Place saying that like the whole thing sold out immediately, but that they are going to restock. I know in particular the brush set sold out super fast. Let me just give you a couple prices. I'm not going to go into all the details. Their website has it laid out super clearly. So, you know, if you actually are interested in this, just head to Juvia's Place website and go to new collections and it's right there. But to give you an idea of kind of the price range, those 6 p.m. palettes are $15. You can get them in like a little kit that also comes with like a primer or a highlighter or something for $26. The lip kits that come with a liner and a gloss, a liner and a liquid lipstick. Those are $23, the kits are. And then the set of 12 brushes, dang it, the price isn't listed. Well, okay, the brush set is sold out right now anyway, but their brushes are usually like relatively affordable. I guess this is probably going to be somewhere around $50. Regardless, I think this is a really beautiful take on holiday. I am really excited about this. Juvia's Place literally never disappoints me, even though I don't think this collection is for me personally. Like, these color stories are not things I'm drawn to. I literally can't believe how gorgeous everything they put out is. Every single collection they launch, I want it only because it's stunning. Like I said, I will not pick this up because it is not something that I will use often enough to justify it. But my goodness, I don't know, Juvia's Place just gets it. They get it, they knock it out of the park every time, and this is no exception. Okay, on the flip side, Dominique Cosmetics just released something that I like totally don't get. This is their Coral Blossom eyeshadow palette. It's a 10 shade palette. This is a weird launch to me from Dominique Cosmetics. It just feels so off from the brand as I like know it in the past. Dominique Cosmetics has always had kind of like deeper, bolder, brighter eyeshadow palettes. So I don't know if this is just like their attempt at like breaking into more of like a neutrals market. I mean, they had those like latte coffee palettes, something like that. I think it was latte. They had 1 and 2, and those were sort of neutral, but they had some like pops of color in there that made them a little more unique. This is a different like pan shape and palette shape from Dominique Cosmetics, so I think maybe they're kind of doing a bit of a rebrand. It feels like this probably could have been a spring launch, although maybe Dominique Cosmetics is in Australia or something, and so it is spring for them. I don't know. Anyways, the palette is $42. The swatches look pretty lackluster to me. I just am not that excited about this, and my gut reaction was like, oh, why Dominique Cosmetics? I feel like you had a reputation for like creative and interesting color stories, and then you released this. So I don't know what they're doing. Let me know your thoughts on this one. It feels a little bit out of left field to me. And then last up, I just want to touch on the Wayne Goss Tourmaline palette. I cannot find the price right now, sorry about that, but let me put a picture up here. I really was super drawn into this eyeshadow palette. These like burgundy tones are some of my absolute favorites for fall, so I was very excited to see him launch this palette. However, I basically used it as inspiration to try out similar looks with the makeup I already have. So the look I have on today actually ended up being sort of similar to that, although that's not kind of what I went into this look thinking. But I'm noticing now that it sort of is a similar vibe, right? Similar to what I would get from his palette. So unfortunately, I'm not going to buy it, but I do absolutely love it. Like I adore it. I think it's perfect. Maybe I will buy it. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Tell me what you think about this Wayne Goss palette. It's been out for a while now, so like a review would probably not be useful, but just tell me your thoughts. Also, if you like this look that I have on my face right now, the video for it is going up this Thursday. So go ahead and subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, if you want to see this look when it comes out. But that really is the end of what I wanted to share with you all. I know there are 1,000,000,001 other makeup releases I could have talked about, but they were all either boring to me or I just hated them so much I didn't even want to talk about it because this would be a terribly negative video if I did. I hope you enjoyed today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.